I don't know.
Happy Hanukkah!
It's hard.
Hanukkah, all you fucking idiots that don't listen to us.
It's so hard to think of like things to say to get the podcast going.
I know.
Hi guys, one frame off, new episode. We're back.
Hello, fellow creatures of the void.
There it is.
But that's what Rose
Happy
says.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
We're right in the thick of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And to ring in the holiday cheer, we're talking about some great topics today.
Yeah. We're
holiday
gonna
topics.
some great holiday cheers. The merry and the brightest of the topics. And if you can't tell, we're totally lying to you.
It's sarcasm at its finest.
Whoop whoop. Yeah, so one frame off. We did a lot of superhero talk, but we kind of want to get a little more in depth with things. And then like the big thing that I've noticed as a trend is like, hey, is it just me or are there like a lot more evil Superman stories nowadays?
I don't know. I have no idea. But what I do think is something that is going on, that's a trend that we are discussing today, is we have a lot more of a darker representation of superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
And not just one or two shows to pick from. Like, it's a pretty expansive topic at this point.
Yeah, it's not really like super black and white anymore where it's like the ultimate good guy fights the ultimate bad guy.
No, we're living in a world of gray right now. And it's really exciting thematically.
I'm living for... I want to say, though...
Are you living for that 50 Shades of Grey? Is that what you're going to say?
Oh,
okay.
Hell no. I'm saying I'm living for the gray. For the moral gray. And I want to say... Last episode, or the previous episode that we recorded, that was our Marvel catch-up.
Oh, yeah.
And I mentioned that Spotify has the full version of the Save the City from Rogers the Musical, the Hawkeye, and I have not stopped listening to it.
Really?
It's like so cringy good. I love it. I've listened to it at least 10 times now.
So the fake musical
song
from the Hawkeye show that you guys said suck has a soundtrack just of the musical?
Yep.
The one song called Save the City.
Can I actually like go back a little bit for a backtrack? And this is just like something I thought of last time we recorded and I didn't think of it. You think Hawkeye's going to get like quote unquote canceled when they find out that he was Ronin? Because like the whole shtick, the whole setup I'm seeing is that like everyone loves him.
You want to
He's
know
a
what?
celebrity.
That is too clever for them to actually do.
Okay.
No, like really, like that. Oh, I love that so much.
I don't think they're going to make it like cancel culture commentary. Say that
No, I
fast.
think that's going to be one of the secrets that they kind of just file away and go, okay, that's not...
Oh, it would be better if it was addressed in this way, though.
Yeah, but whatever. It's only like as the time of we're recording this, we've only seen the first 2 episodes, so that's just another speculation, and it's pretty off topic from what we're talking about.
Yeah, I just wanted to pinpoint that because I actually pulled it up. I was talking to another friend of mine. I pulled it up.
Wait, you have other friends?
How dare you?
How dare you?
I thought it was just us.
Look, okay,
I feel betrayed in life.
I don't have other friends.
Help! I'm being attacked by people
Yeah,
I
with
love.
love.
By people who say they're my friends.
Yeah.
People who say I love. Listen, okay, I have my friends. Their names are Pickle Bean, Rainbow, and Tie-Dye.
Are you just looking at around the room for
No,
things?
actually, I thought about this. I told them that I was going to call them each of those nicknames.
That's
and they're
smart.
like, okay.
That's really nice of you. I just name drop people all the time on here, and it has to get edited out. So that's really thoughtful of you.
If I ever do name drop someone, I'm just going to censor it.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way for at least me and Brody to function here on out.
Yeah.
We've done it. We've given like one nickname to one of our coworkers, but that just has to happen because
today we can't really.
It's
talk
kind of
about
an
it.
insult.
I wanted Bruce Wayne, but I got outvoted.
Well,
I think
Robin's
I told him the
funnier.
other day. And
Robin is funnier.
It's funnier.
Yeah.
It's much funnier.
It just
He
sounds
would get a
nice.
kick out of it too.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm sure he's
get
just.
a kick out
I'm
of
sure he was listening to it, and it's like those bastards.
Oh, he's
We
not
love
listening.
you, Robin.
Yeah, we love you, Robin.
We love you, Robin.
Take care.
Love's a word.
So before we get into like a big who's what's of evil Superman, you want to just go around and talk about what we're drinking today?
Yeah, I'll start off. So I'm drinking multiple things today. We took a long time to start today, so I've already finished my beer. I actually ended up having 1.5, and then I was like, you know what? I went really hard over Thanksgiving, calorically and alcohol-wise, that I'm sticking to the one beer. I don't need any more. But I did have Highland Brewing's Cold Mountain. It's one of their most sought after winter seasonals, and it's really delightful. They do a huge launch party every year in Asheville. Yeah, it's just really good. The variants are really nice too. I believe there's there's an imperial and a coconut.
Yeah.
And there might be one more, I'm not sure. We used to get the variants for tap nights and stuff.
That one?
Yeah, but there should be a coconut and imperial, and there might be one
nitro?
more.
Is it a nitro?
It would be delicious on nitro. I don't know if that's what it is. But anyways, yeah. So I had a Cold Mountain, and now I'm having a strawberry kombucha.
Nice.
Yeah.
Brody, what are you drinking today?
I got Troy and Sons whiskey.
Ooh, that'll put some whiskers on your chin.
Yeehaw. I don't know what the show has done to me. I think it's just given me the opportunity to be a whiskey man now. And
I feel like you are a whiskey man.
You've always been a whiskey man.
I'm a whiskey man. I was a bourbon man, but now I'm a whiskey man.
Yeah, it's like what you have to cultivate for yourself.
Yeah.
Ooh, one thing
also,
we didn't talk about, and that I know I'm just saying this already, but I want to talk about myself, is I did take the plunge last week, and I did get bangs.
Ooh.
It looks good.
They look good, actually.
They did.
The hairstylist asked me if I was having a mental breakdown when she did it, and I said, nope, I just make snap decisions. And she was like, okay.
I like that. You need to sign a contract before you get bangs.
I love that she asked me that. I should have mentioned it last podcast. But yeah, I went ahead and got bangs, and you want to know what? It's like a really good look for me.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm like way into it.
It frames you well.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. You know what? It could have been a real shitty decision, but I'm so glad it worked out. Rose, what are you drinking? I'm sorry.
Hold on. On the topic of hair cutting.
Oh yeah, let's go back to haircuts.
Hold on. I'd like to grow out my hair. I prefer to have my hair really short or really long.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Whenever I get it cut, it's literally, I'm sick and tired of my hair. Chop it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I chop it off, I'm like, God damn it, I shouldn't have chopped it off. Because now I want it to be long again because my neck is cold.
I think longer is easier though.
But today, so I'm drinking 2 cranberry ciders. I just finished one of them. The first one was from a brewery I actually really don't like, but was surprised, pleasantly so, to have that one. It's Austin East Cranberry. It's seasonal.
Out of Texas.
If you want something super duper sweet.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I took a dip out of the East Coast, New England, and hopped over to the Midwest for a cider.
And can I just say thank you, because I do not consider Texas the South.
It's like the South, the Midwest.
I'm sure a lot of Texans will get really offended for you.
I don't care. You guys have your own beautiful. You have your own beautiful thing over there.
The Midwest.
Yeah, but
Texas is way.
Texas is right fucking there.
I would call it more like Southwest.
Southwest, Midwest.
Yeah, Southwest is fair.
You say Southwest, I think desert. You say Midwest, I think snow.
Yeah, no, Southwest is really good for that.
No, Midwest.
You think flyover states when you say Midwest.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
Well, that's a very...
states no one cares about?
I think of like
That
flat...
is not true. There's some... Dude, Midwestern food is what I eat a lot of. Have you ever had a tater tot casserole?
No.
It's fucking amazing.
No, because I'm from the north.
Okay, well, the Midwest is just a stone's throw, baby. And I'm telling you right now, tater tot casserole is bomb. I don't care who you are. That shit is good. But the Texas, thank you for not saying it's the South, because it's not the fucking South. Okay?
South, Midwest, Southwest.
I say South.
You think Texas is part of the South?
Yes.
I don't think it's seceded.
It's the ass of
Texas
the South.
It was still a
Florida's
part of
the dick,
Mexico.
Texas is the ass.
It was just a part of Mexico.
It was still a part of Mexico during that time. Partially.
And where is Mexico?
Mostly.
South of here.
No, Mexico is partially a part of Central America. I say partially, shut up everyone in the comments. Partially. It's long enough it reaches Central America.
Okay.
It's long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Texas? Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Mexico.
Oh, shit. I've never been to Mexico. Love Mexican food, though, and the culture.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to get myself all the fucking Talavera. Mm-hmm. All the Talavera.
Now, follow-up question here before we actually jump into our topic today.
Yeah.
So you've been to New Mexico. Is Coco Pally is present in Texas, like trinket shops and souvenir shops? And
Coco, what is Coco
And
Pally?
also, is Coco Pally just as present in Mexican shops?
I don't know about Mexican shops. 'Cause
I know what Coco Pally is, but for all the people who are listening, can you please explain it to them, please?
I'm Googling it because I used to have the actual... It's depicted as a humpbacked flute player.
You mean Coco Pelli?
Yeah, but I say Pally because that's how my grandma said it to me, so I'm not going to change at this point.
For everyone who doesn't know, Coco Pelli is a...
Rose is like,
God.
you mispronounced one letter. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
I grew up with Coco Pelli. God, how would you describe Coco Pelli, Jess?
Oh, he's a fertility deity.
Yeah, he's like a god of fertility.
You want to know what? My grandma gave me so much Coco Pally shit, and that's hilarious that it's a fertility god.
An actual
He's
fuck
a
god.
trickster, too. Yeah. Well, he fucks a lot with that humpback.
Coco Pelli is a
You really tickle yourself with that one,
fertility
right?
and
Yeah, I laugh at all my own jokes.
He's a trickster, but I don't know.
He's a master braider and represents the spirit of music.
According to Wikipedia. This is all from Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is, you don't even have to say that anymore. It's legit.
It's getting better.
It's more legit than
it's
Facebook.
more legit than a lot of other sources that
Facebook?
people use. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is.
It really is.
When we were coming up and in school, like, it was still like, oh, don't use Wikipedia, and that was probably relevant at the time, but it's
nowadays,
totally
Wikipedia
fine.
is the only place you can find.
I'm skimming this real quick. I see Aztec Empire, so I'm going to imagine there is South American representation. I just have to ask, because when I went to New Mexico, every fucking shop is Coco Pally. It's everywhere. It's engraved on shit. It's fucking everywhere.
I don't know. My grandmother's been, but I've only been to, like, down that area. I went to Texas. I went to Austin, actually.
Ooh, yeah.
Funny enough. I didn't actually go outside of the city, so I don't know.
Well, whatever. What are we talking about today, Rose?
I mean, I didn't even get to talk about my second
Oh,
cider
whoops.
yet.
We
please.
hard turned on that one.
Yeah, we did. I apologize. No, let's talk about it. I'm so sorry.
I'm drinking Artifact again, so bouncing back up to my
Brand loyalty.
Yeah,
loyalty,
a lot
right?
of brand loyalty going on here. Artifact, sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
Oh my god, please.
We'll
I
do
love your
anything.
stuff. No, I
Just
do
send me
love
like
your
3 ciders
stuff.
a month. That's fine.
Yeah.
I will drink them.
I might.
will.
I don't know.
Jess is a toss up, like whether or not she actually likes her ciders.
I'm a what?
Toss up, whether or not you like.
Oh yeah, I'm very hit or miss on it. I drink everything. It just depends on what mood I'm in.
Brody.
You know, I'm just like not always in the mood for something like super duper sweet.
I have to agree with that. I've been leaning more towards bitter.
With that being said, my favorite cider is Orange You a Hippie from Bull City Cider Works.
Yes, from Durham. Orange You Hippie is fantastic. It's an orange and hibiscus
What you gotta say
cider.
about Bull City?
Really?
Yes, really.
I
like
their
it.
burgers are good too. Have you been?
No.
Oh, no, I haven't been.
Oh, we'll have to go one day,
We'll have
guys.
to go.
Oh, it's delightful.
Rose, look at me. I like it.
I know you do.
Rose
Respect-
Candidi.
Hold on.
Rose Candidi.
I will be the DD. Hold on, Brody.
You
I
okay?
respect your opinions.
Okay.
You are my friend. I will respect your opinions.
I don't like where this is going.
But I sure as hell know that there are better ciders than that one.
Oh, I'm sure there are, but it's what I like. I'm a whiskey man.
Alright, I'm gonna
We've
pop this
established
open.
that. Pop it.
Oh,
Good pop.
That
it really
a
was.
great
I'm
pop.
sure the
I bet
mics
that's
picked
so
that up real well.
ASMR. Yeah.
So
Oh,
the artifact I'm drinking is their cranberry No New Friends, which apparently is the vibe today.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say that's a little.
You've hit your
ironic.
limit with us.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
so
great. They're pouring it. Okay, this is gonna take a minute. Brody, how's your day been?
It was good. What did I do today? Oh, I started Oh my god.
It does sound nice. It's like a Sprite commercial.
Nice. Sprite sponsor us.
see?
If there's any company out there that wants to sponsor us, please, we'll do anything.
No, within
No,
reason. We
no,
have
within
morals.
reason. There's
We
some-
have morals.
I
I'll
am
get
not
Coca-Cola
talking about
tattooed
Adam
on my
and Eve
forehead.
here. I'm not talking. Actually, I would.
Adam and Eve would be cool. Adam and Eve, it's a local brand.
Yep.
Adam
Oh,
and
is
Eve.
it
Yeah,
from
they're North Carolina based.
Oh.
Really? Okay, change my mind. All on board with Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm asexual, and I'm all on board on getting a sponsorship from them.
I'm aromantic and I'm not.
We're the
I'm
A-team.
Hey!
I'm super heterosexual, and I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, third time.
What was I gonna say? No, I started listening to the Workaholics podcast. We talked about that off stream the other day, but in the earlier seasons, I don't know if this is still true, but they are sponsored by Astroglide. And that made me laugh so.
Remind me real quick what Astroglide is.
It's a lube.
Of course it's a lube.
They're sponsored by Trojan Condoms and Astroglide.
That's
my
a
God.
perfect.
Trojan sponsor us.
No!
Trojan.
Hold up, please, Artifact.
Oh my
Okay,
God,
we
we're
gotta
not
drop
that
this
desperate.
shit.
We all have jobs. All right.
We have to drop this shit.
Oh, not after this. Like, that terrifies me. The idea that one day I'm going to be in a job interview and it's like, are you okay with us doing a background check on you? Yeah,
Yeah,
but...
can you tell us more about Astroglide?
So I do have a podcast sponsored by a lube company, but I'm applying for brand management, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hold on. If you can land that kind of
Yeah, man.
sponsorship and then say, I'm going in for marketing and brand management, they should fucking hire you in a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
business is business.
Because they'll take a look at you and go, you got who to sponsor you?
Look
All
at
right, we want you on
Hey,
our
look at
team."
me, I'm a businessman.
You know what I will say about
wear a suit and tie to
Astroglide in
every
general,
recording
though,
session.
is that
Yeah, man, he's got his tie.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
that I've lived a
Black
life
and
where
white.
lube gets recommended to me very often, but the only times that it has, it's always been Astroglide.
Astroglide, slip on in there.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Dang.
What I mean, no, like,
Guys, we gotta stop drinking on this podcast.
that's not true at all. I only have one beer. Rose, what are we talking about today? It's only 20 minutes in. We're fine.
We're fine.
It feels longer, I know, but it's only been 20 minutes,
Zane,
guys.
help. Zane.
No, he's making us cookies.
That's helpful.
Yeah, what are we talking about today?
Oh yeah, right.
Hold
That
up,
the
yeah.
topic we did a lot of research on
Yeah,
and wanted to
explain.
discuss.
Zane is Jess's husband.
Yeah.
When I'm
Yeah.
yelling for him, I'm like, yeah. That's who I'm yelling for.
If we ever need an out, Zane is right across the hall.
I can give you guys more context to what I just said, but it's really not important. You want to move on?
All right, so we're talking about Happy Holidays.
Happy
We're
holidays.
talking about Injustice, The Boys.
Happy
and
holidays from
Invincible.
Astroglide. Now peppermint flavored.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea. See, you should do branded marketing.
Oh my god.
I bet it tingles too.
Oh, the menthol.
It has to.
You gonna ring those bells?
Oh, wow. Rose, I am so surprised right now.
Anytime I come out with a line like that, because I am, quote unquote, I kid you not, according to everyone, including everyone at the bar,
Mhm.
I am the most innocent person on this planet. So
Oh, you're a
whenever-
ray of sunshine.
You really are.
So whenever I come out with a line like that, Jess is always like, Rose, what?
They're like my little sister. It's like, where did you learn that besides me?
Who taught you that?
Who talks that way around you? I'm gonna hit him in the face.
But yeah, main subject.
I know we've derailed so much,
So
but not really, because
We
like
love
it's only
it.
been 2 minutes
You-
since we last had say we derailed too much.
Lordy, alright. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some very interesting topics today.
Yeah.
And really it's like the gray of heroism.
The gray of heroism represented by the cultural idea of what if Superman was evil?
Right?
Because
As a jumping off point, that's where we're starting.
Yeah.
Because the way I've seen things for the longest time, you go back to the 60s, Superman is the epitome of the good guy.
Oh yeah.
He's truth, justice, and the American way. It's all of his things. And I think as a culture, we got kind of bored with that. Because we're just like, well, yeah, he...
Modern
is-
culture, absolutely.
Modern culture,
20th
yeah.
century.
We're like, oh, he's undefeatable unless someone has kryptonite, but whatever. And it's just a boring guy. It's not really too much to the story. Also, we haven't really had a good Superman movie representation since the actual first one. And I think
that does have a lot to do with
Man
it.
of Steel was fine, but not good.
Superman has undergone a very interesting, and I do mean like interesting rendition over the years. Because if you didn't know this, fun fact, 1939 or 1938 is just around the time of when Superman was originally created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster.
Can I just say one thing really quick? And now actually you say your thing. Mine's dumb.
No, go ahead.
I want to hear it now.
Okay, so it is dumb. I once got in a fight with a friend at a party who tried to say, Superman doesn't actually fly. He's just jumping. And I'm like, you stupid idiot.
No, Superman couldn't fly.
Oh, that's the best.
In the radio show.
That is the best trolling thing to say to somebody.
Oh,
it's true?
In the very first comics, Jerry and... Oh my goodness, I can't... I'm blanking.
Who the fuck is Jerry?
The original creators, the very original creators before
sorry.
Detective Comics. By the way, DC was not known as DC. It was originally known as its full name, Detective Comics, back in the 30s.
Double croissant.
You told me that.
Yeah, Jerry, he was the, I guess the writer, Jerry Siegel, and the artist was Joe Shuster, Shuster.
I'm sure someone will correct us.
Somebody please do.
That's a Schuster right there.
But originally he couldn't fly. He could jump and run. He could jump as high as the tallest building.
You want to know what they should have taken flying away from him? It's too much.
Run.
He has too much already.
But then he developed the ability to fly just naturally over time.
Yeah. But someone was trying to tell me that modern day Superman, as we know it, he's not actually flying, he's jumping.
If you're talking about Smallville, which really talks about
I never watched it, but I always wanted to, but then I was like, nah, it's too much time passes and you're like, I'm not going to do this.
I couldn't get into it, but my family, specifically my dad, loved it. And for everybody who doesn't know what that is, Smallville is a TV show that actually chronicles and depicts not just young Superman, but Clark Kent growing up and learning to become eventually Superman.
Right.
So it's like his time.
His formative years.
Yeah, his formative years, his time on the farm.
But this idiot, I asked him. But I asked him, so how come he can just float in the air, and what does it mean for him to turn midair? And he's just like,
doesn't he, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but isn't it really well known that he turned back time by flying around the fucking planet?
Which also doesn't make sense.
That does not make sense.
The true question we should be asking is, how can Superman's cape float in space? It moves in space.
Oh yeah, it moves like it does on Earth.
Point. Well, it would look terrible just hanging there.
But it moves there are so many shots of him in space and it's waving behind him.
I never thought about that.
I'm sure that's more like a convenience thing.
I don't know.
They just took animation they had already drawn out and just popped that on a space background. It was entirely a budgeting thing. But also, I don't know when the comics were created or when the cartoons happened, but when did we go to space?
When they could afford it.
Are you talking about the Apollo space missions?
No, we did our first landing on the moon.
Oh god, that's Apollo.
It's 1969, right?
Apollo 13?
And when was Superman?
Oh no, wait, that was the moon landing I'm
that
thinking of.
Moon
landing was 69. I don't know. I think the whole 60s were space race
Cold
era,
War.
right?
No.
Cold War.
Yeah.
Sputnik. That's right.
So anyways, my point is we didn't have a lot of space experience as a civilization. Not that much. So I think it's fair to say that a bunch of artists would have had no clue how the vacuum of space would have affected a cape.
That's true.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was abnormal. I don't remember. He was an alien.
Yeah,
he's an alien.
From Krypton. Kal-El. His whole world got destroyed. He got sent to Kansas, and now
he could jump and run. But he could originally, back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, he could fly.
Yeah.
And then he's flown ever since.
That's sort of a small example of my main idea of when we kind of got fascinated by the idea of Superman becoming evil, is sort of the idea of culture kind of catching up to this depiction that we have and realizing that this is something of an impossibility and trying to add a little more gray area. And there have been depictions of evil Superman, people who are gray areas, but easily try to copy the idea of Superman.
I mean, Superman, he's like Captain America. He's the perfect American citizen, I guess you could say.
He
He's
fights
like
for
an
the
emblem.
American way.
Yeah, the American way. He's an emblem of patriotism, of freedom, of doing what's right for your neighbor and fighting for justice.
Mm-hmm.
But in more recent times, especially for the comic book arc, Injustice, Gods Among Us.
Among Us, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Superman was acting pretty sus in that, I'm going to say.
Is that the video game or are you saying
No,
it's the
this
comic?
is the comic book arc that that inspired the Injustice
Mm-hmm.
video game.
Which I'm sure is
and-
where most people are familiar
Yeah,
with the
that's
story.
where I
most people
am,
are most familiar with the Injustice games 1 and 2,
Yep.
as well as the October something enough.
A
like
quick side note that I do want to bring up,
movie.
and I think will affect overall all of the different shows and games we're talking about today, is like the rise of the anti-hero that Breaking Bad brought along.
Oh, before Breaking Bad, I would say like Sopranos was
The
like
Sopranos.
Yeah, that's
when they
true.
kind of
Even
brought
back
that into
then,
television.
Actually, even farther than
I
that.
feel like Breaking Bad is more popular than The Sopranos, though,
Debatably, I would.
because of that it was on network television.
Okay, yeah, that definitely factors
Yeah,
in a big part.
strictly because of how it was distributed.
Mm-hmm.
Sopranos, I mean, I don't want to say The Sopranos
Actually,
is better,
I'd say
but
that goes even farther back to Prohibition, the 20s,
Oh, really?
where
for the
people,
anti-hero.
Yeah, the anti-heroes. So you have this rise in the 20s and 30s of mobster films, like classic Hollywood mobster films.
Yeah.
And it's always about, like, this highly romanticized version of the mafia and the mob.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just propaganda.
And it was, well, not quite. It was, like, this fascination, because, like, you couldn't drink, you couldn't do certain things. The government was restricting your freedoms to do this.
Right, and a lot of mafia movies
And
are
the
like,
mafia is like, fuck the government, fuck all these restrictions.
Yeah, I'm
we're
free.
gonna do it. We're free. We're gonna do it anyways.
My only disagreement with that is that mob movies are created constantly. I mean, just look at Martin Scorsese's work.
Yeah.
well,
Mob movies are always going to get made. They're always have to take an anti-hero route for the most part. Or I mean,
But I'd say
because-
for like the anti-hero, it started way back.
well, I'd say in the case
well,
of Martin
as a theme,
Scorsese,
yeah,
at
it's
least.
existed for a long
It's a
time.
theme,
But if
yeah.
you want to talk about it being a popular theme that's widely used, it was definitely like the Walter Whites and the Tony Sopranos of the world.
Mhm.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that like where you find yourself cheering for the bad guy.
But would you really call Superman in Injustice an anti-hero?
What about it, Rose?
Considering-
You're the most familiar with the subject.
Considering the fact, so for everybody who's
An
not
anti-hero
familiar,
hero.
Yeah, let's give a quick recap of
Recap
the
of
essentials of the
Injustice.
story real quick.
So for everyone who's not familiar with the games, the comics, or the movie that came out this year in October, what happens is Joker created this kind of hallucinogenic gas
Mhm.
and exposes
Like the Scarecrow?
kind of like the Scarecrow,
Okay, cool.
but different, because what happens is, like, when you take it or you're exposed to it, I could see Brody but think that there is a monster there, whereas Scarecrow
Not far off.
Yeah.
Scarecrow like the hallucinations aren't there,
Yeah.
but the Joker wants to change your perception of reality.
It tricks you.
It tricks you into seeing something that is there, but it's different than what it actually is in reality.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman ends up killing Lois Lane, his wife, and their unborn child.
Wait, how does he do it?
He's under the gas.
He's under the influence of the gas.
Yeah, but how does he kill them?
That's
Horribly.
That's
It
really,
would have to be super gruesome, right?
I mean, it's Superman. He could kill anyone with like a noogie.
yeah.
Like he could give them a noogie and ruin their brains.
Yeah, that's not. He kills her, their kid, and then goes batshit crazy, and goes off to kill the Joker.
I'm sorry. I think that was the first time I've said noogie in like 20 years.
I knew what you were talking about, though. Like, we all know what a noogie is.
Yeah, I've had older brothers. I've had plenty of noogies.
They're painful.
Oh yeah.
He goes crazy, kills the Joker, and then decides you can't prevent like crimes happening if you let the people live. If you let the bad guys live,
Right.
you don't give them the chance to commit another crime.
Which is sort of in stark contrast to Batman's
Batman's
philosophy and the whole Justice League's idea.
So yeah, this heavily involves the Justice League. Their whole motto is like, you can't kill someone because then they don't have a chance to learn from their mistakes and actually do better.
Yeah.
Some of their villains have done better.
Mm-hmm.
Some of their villains are actually like mentally unstable and have a positive relationship with these superheroes, like the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
As one of the villains, he's like buddies with him and is always like checking in on him and such. So that's kind of the whole motto of giving the villains a second chance.
That's a trope I want to get into, sort of the idea of saving the villains.
Yeah.
But I'll get into that later.
So
I just feel like it's so easy to say, like, because when you think, oh, save the villains, you're thinking of criminals in our society. And I already see it as gray, like, what were they living? What choices did they have?
Yeah.
What lives did they live? But, like, God, it really is
What are
sometimes
their options?
incredibly black and white in comics and stuff.
Well, when you see,
So
like...
I feel like making the decision, like, should this guy die is a lot easier in this stuff. Because, like, well, he's a piece of shit. He's one of the Joker goons. Can you imagine all the shit he's done?
Yeah, and that's where Superman decides, and this is where the Justice League kind of breaks down in 50-50. Superman is like, we shouldn't give criminals who have been convicted before the chance to do it again,
Mm-hmm.
so they should all die. Batman is like, excuse you, no, you have no right to be the judge and executioner.
It's true.
Judge, jury, and executioner. You have no right to do that. They should get an honest second chance.
Right.
So, it literally splits the Justice League in half. Do you kill the villain or do you not?
Oh, is that what they're fighting about in the video game?
Yeah. And
Cool.
the first one, in the first video game, Injustice, Superman goes to jail. In the second one, it gets kind of different because then you have to go back to talk to Superman, and Superman's like, oh, let me out. And Batman's like, fuck you, we can do this on our own. Of course you can't do it on your own. Let Batman out. Batman, let Superman out.
Mm-hmm.
Let him deal with the big baddie.
Because
save
he
the day.
makes bad decisions.
Just bad decisions all around. But the main point of Injustice is like the whole grayness of it all. Like, are the heroes still the hero if they kill?
But I think, like, and I'm just thinking about, like, the depiction of Superman in the game Injustice. He really kind of, after that one sort of, like, incident with the Joker and Lois Lane, he kind of, like, goes off the deep end being like, nah,
does.
I'm just going to be, like, a straight-up tyrant now.
He wants to control and rule the world.
Yeah. I think there's even a part...
prevent crime.
I think there's even a part where Shazam...
I'm getting, and I know you guys are going to hate me for this, but, like, once again, getting mad Death Note vibes.
I mean, you want to talk about an anti-hero, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I mean, you guys know I'm an
Or
L.
just
Like,
more or less
I love
a
Yagi
vindictive
as
guy.
well.
Yeah.
But I was just remembered a part in the game's campaign, which I played once in one whole day, and then went on.
Because you got it on the Xbox Pass, don't lie.
I'm PlayStation.
Yeah, same Z's. I couldn't remember the name, but yeah, that's how the only reason
And
me
there
and
was-
Rose dabbled on the same
There was
thing.
one part where it's even like Shazam, Billy Batson, kind of like went up to him and
Wait,
was like,
Shazam's in this?
Yeah.
Shazam's a playable character in that, yeah.
Shazam.
What?
So
He's in
I
the
love
Justice
that
League.
movie so much.
All of
Yeah.
the Justice League members.
So the
make
11-year-old, the 13 or 14
The
year old.
14-year-old who
he's
turns
14-year-old.
into a 40-year-old who's buff.
But he
That's such a
dies.
good movie.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Caveat.
He dies?
Yeah,
Shazam dies?
Yeah, he
Yes.
tries to like stand up to Superman, and then he
And
just
Superman
like
just
lasers his
kills him.
brain out.
So this is the big thing. Alright, I guess I didn't make
It's not funny. He's dead.
He's
Superman killed an 11-year-old.
goddamn.
Why are you laughing?
Because she's laughing.
I can't help it.
Oh,
I'm
we're all the
sorry.
Joker.
Why so serious?
Why
If
you gotta
don't
kill
laugh,
Billy
you
Batson?
cry. That's my motto
So,
for
okay.
everything that's ever happened
I
to me.
apologize if I didn't make this clear enough.
Crying's fine.
Every single member of the Justice League has to pick a side.
Mm-hmm.
And for all the Marvel fans who don't give a damn about DC or Detective Comics, it's basically Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except,
it's Civil War.
except it's not. So think Superman versus Batman. Think Iron Man versus Captain America.
Think chocolate versus peanut butter. Think peanut
That
butter
kind
versus
of
jelly.
shit.
And
Yeah.
then peanut
So,
butter and peanut butter have to
every
team up.
member-
But the
to beat
DC
each other.
characters translate way better to a video game because they're a little more outrageous.
Yeah, they are pretty great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're great.
But so like every member of the Justice League has to pick a side. and some side with Batman, some side with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Flash, unfortunately, sides with Superman and pulls a Scott Lang, regrets it, because Scott Lang regretted siding with Captain America, because he ends up in jail and away from his daughter.
Yeah.
So, our speedster on DC side, Barry Allen, the Flash, he sides with Superman, regrets it because now he's constantly watched by the government. He can't use his powers. He has so many restrictions, but because he was on like the very outer rim of it all, he has some freedoms, but he still heavily regrets it. So not all of the Justice League members who sided with Superman, like, are hardcore, like, yeah, let's kill all the villains.
No, it's the lesser of two evils. It's a decision we make at least once every 4 years.
So you have that. You also have that kind of twist, right? So which side are you on?
Well, I was going to ask you guys, who would you side with?
I mean, probably Batman, because like
Batman.
Not only is it like in my mind it's like the underdog, but at the same time it's like the other one is like a straight up like if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I would probably give in to that. I know myself really
if
well.
It helps, Jess, you like Wonder Woman, right?
I do like Wonder Woman.
She sides with Superman.
Yeah, she's smart.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps for all our Wonder Woman fans.
If I'm not mistaken, Aquaman is just like, I'm just going to be independent and focus on the ocean.
Yeah, he actually dips out.
Yeah.
Aquaman literally dips out of the entire fucking fight.
Which is
Does he
the
literally
smart thing
dip
to
out?
do.
Yeah, he's going back to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
He's
And
like, fuck both of you, I'm done.
Yeah, no, I got way bigger problems.
They're like, yeah, we're not going down there after him.
No, they're not.
We also don't really need him either, so...
he's had a revival.
One of the...
Yeah, no, he has. And it's something we're talking about earlier
He's
kind of is also revived the Aquaman persona.
I have to ask, is that where Creatures of the Void comes from?
No, to explain Creatures of the Void, it's more of a thing that I picked up by being on the internet, specifically Tumblr so much.
Right, the big void that is in the
Tumblr.
internet. Well, Tumblr specifically.
Reddit's my void.
So
if there's an abyss, then like Tumblr is the bottom of the abyss.
yeah. So when
it's 4chan actually.
Oh, that's
Void. I started off originally. It was always "Hello, fellow creatures of the void," which was "Hello, fellow creatures at the bottom of the abyss." That's Tumblr. But now it's just
I would
"Hello,
love
fellow creatures
to be
of the void."
Creatures at the bottom of the abyss and the Mariana Trench. That could be our opening. I like it.
No, it's just
Too
"Hello,
wordy.
creatures of the void." That is the internet now.
Yeah.
So
Then you're
whenever
ruled under Aquaman, who's piecing out of the whole conflict.
He just fucking leaves. He's like, "I'm done with this shit."
Mm.
So we're talking about Aquaman and we talked about Injustice, and I'm just going to bring this up right now because it's kind of a segue into our next discussion, but we said, Aquaman is being revamped. He's having his moment, and I feel like Chase Crawford's character as the Deep in The Boys is kind of a part of that, or at least...
A guy who, episode 1, sticks his wiener out.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's my favorite character, but I do feel bad for him in a lot of ways, too.
I mean, they make him out to be a weird guy. Doesn't he join Scientology in season 2 or something?
It's a Scientology-esque cult church thing for sure that's got its hands in the superhero conglomerate pie.
Including myself.
Yeah.
Can you explain The Boys real quick?
Right, so let's take a back step and talk about The Boys. The Boys is depicting the Justice League as a very over-corporatized franchise superhero group. They still do all like the good things that you would expect like the Justice League to do.
They do all the good things, but it's directed around, can I get a good photo shoot out of this? Is this going to be good publicity? They literally hear about catastrophes on a cell phone from their agent, which is kind of a beautiful analogy all in and of itself.
And the character that is the Deep is canceled.
Is it the 6 or the 7? What is it?
I want to say the 7, but
it's
it could
like
easily
the 7.
be
The 7
7
is like the Justice League. They're the creme de la creme, the top tier. They get paid the big bucks to show up to these crimes and represent their company and have sponsorships and whatnot. It's a lot like Captain Fantastic from...
Captain Fantastic?
Mr. Fantastic.
I was about to say, Captain Fantastic is actually a really good movie that I want to talk about one day.
So is Mystery Men. Mystery Men's a really good movie. You don't think Mystery Men is a good movie?
It's
Although-
fine.
Like
Everyone up on the list.
Mr. Fantastic, they might as well just be covered in all of their corporate sponsorships, like when they show up to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing.
It's like, and then there's the big leader of the group who is the Superman equivalent,
Homelander.
who has eagle shoulder pads and an American flag cape, so you know what he's all about.
Himself.
Yeah,
but he has
like-
all the Superman powers.
Yeah, he's got the
flying,
laser
super
vision,
strength,
the
laser
strength.
vision. He's
I'm sure he could
X-ray
reverse time
vision,
if he
I
wanted
think,
to.
too.
X-ray. Yeah, he uses that X-ray vision in a very unpleasant way. I'll tell you what.
yeah. He does.
I don't want to know.
You already do.
Right.
I don't. I don't actually, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
So what can we say about the boys, Brody?
Well, so 9/11, that really was sort of like the cultural turning point in American culture, where
Yes.
we really started to realize what our relationship is with the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think like a lot of people can agree that beforehand, America was just kind of like its own superpower left to rest, but after all the militarization that we got into afterwards, America became a very much more of like a boogeyman or an evil Superman, if you will.
Yeah.
And that sort of is like the idea behind Homelander, setting up these, finding out that there are Middle Eastern terrorists, and instead of wanting to label them terrorists, labeling them supervillains.
He's also, for me at least, the way I interpret it, symbolically represents like blind patriotism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like let me just put it this way. Homelander would have stormed the Capitol.
Yeah, he would have. Oh God, that would be
I
such
almost
a
did
good
a fucking
episode.
spit take on that.
No, it's true. He would have been there, and he would have murked everybody.
Oh my God, he would level the fucking place.
Level it.
R.I.P. the Capitol.
They
building.
have some scenes in the
Mhm.
show that I especially love, where Homelander shows up to help out with military operations, along the line of like when Saddam Hussein was Osama bin Laden was assassinated.
Right. Zombie Bin
Saddam
Laden,
Hussein
yeah.
we also killed him too. But,
Yes, I know.
But no, they it's really cool how they incorporate like things that we can find familiar, that we see our own military doing, and like plop. Here's what it would be like if a superhero came in and fucking did it.
Well, I know I've been saying this a lot, but it's culture catching up. It's the American hero fighting for the American way, but modern day American way in terms of international militarism. And I mean, like, let's just be honest. If we did have superpowers, they would definitely be drafted into the military ASAP.
I mean,
absolutely.
I feel like it would be a Captain America scenario.
I'm gonna do a
Where we
spoilers
would
real quick.
create-
Spoilers, fuck you. These
Well,
are
that's the thing.
spoilers.
I feel like
yeah,
we
fuck
could
you,
create-
spoilers.
Fuck you, spoilers. But America we would absolutely take the route of like they do in the show and perfecting a serum to create
Yeah, I feel like we
superheroes
would
and turn people
create,
into super
like,
soldiers.
It would be certainly.
And I know you said that would be the case for like Captain America. It turns out that the reason why there are superheroes in this world is because
Oh my god! If you say the pharmaceutical companies, I'm
That
No,
would be
there's
such
a
a
big
great
evil
movie.
pharmaceutical company that
I'm
makes
out.
a serum that takes tiny little baby people and makes them into superpower. Yeah, baby people.
Babies.
You see them.
They turn babies into superheroes. One of the main characters, Starlight, her mom signed her up for it, so she could become a superhero.
But Starlight in particular is sort of like a commentary on like pageantry.
Yeah.
If you think
How
about
you
it.
faking it to fit in and finding your own way.
Her mother making her Starlight a superhero at a young age is very similar to
So is there like
forcing
an age
Honey Boo Boo
restriction?
to
Is this
dance for
like-
television.
Yeah,
Is this like
it
the
is.
Jedi Order, where if you hit a certain age, you can't do this anymore?
I like to think it's as sophisticated as the Jedi Order.
Oh,
Really, it's just
it's
a bunch of
not.
corporations pumping chemicals into babies so that way they can become.
A
these
lot of it is
soldiers.
elective, though. It's not like they're just doing it willy-nilly. It is elective. A lot of these people are
Mhm.
signing their children up for it, which creates another darker level of story right there. That you have parents willingly subjecting their normal children into this. Another good point about this, too, is we're talking about the anti-hero. We're talking about Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
A lot of the supervillains and the boys were created by Homelander himself.
Yeah, he just wants.
Really?
It's the
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
job
hero
security.
psychiatric syndrome where it's
Yeah.
like you keep It's like a guy who starts making fire so he can be put them out.
It's another Mr. Fantastic thing where he didn't have a hero big enough to fight, so I gotta release Dr. Casanova out of jail and...
Is this like... Do you know...
It's the popularity contest.
I know we're not talking about this, but is this like... Oh my gosh.
Like from the... Are you thinking about The Incredibles?
No, I'm thinking about...
Because it is a lot like Syndrome from The Incredibles.
It is like The Incredibles.
I'm thinking about Bruce Willis's superhero.
Oh, Unbreakable. No.
Unbreakable.
He's not really a superhero.
No.
He's
there are three
small scale superhero.
Was it Dr.
Oh,
Glass?
Mr. Glass,
Mr.
yeah.
Glass, where it's like... It has to be balanced, where somebody who is unbreakable, somebody has to be so fucking fragile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the logic?
I would say that whole movie has a very different dynamic to it that we should get into.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Oh,
I think we can just surmise it to like a good hero is only as good as his worst villain.
Yeah, but I think
what
in
does
this...
that say about Batman versus the Joker then?
The Joker's an incredible villain. They're well matched. They're equal.
One's a strict discipline, the other one's chaotic. One's funny, the other one's stoic.
Yeah, they have to complete each other for their conflict to be compelling. They just have to.
But in the case of the boys,
the villains are among us, actually.
Very sus.
You bring up how Superman represents the American dream and American patriotism in general, along with Homelander to a degree. What do you think that says about Storm Chaser?
Storm Chaser, I didn't finish season 2. I only know that Storm Chaser is sort of like using representation to sort of excel her brand in that sort of superhero way. And she does it really well.
Who is Storm Chaser?
Storm Chaser...
A new addition to the 7 in second season.
Yeah.
She is a beautiful woman who is sort of the counterpart to Homelander in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's like the Wonder Woman equivalent?
There is a Wonder Woman equivalent,
that's
but
Mauve.
It's not easy to really make a one-to-one translation.
Mauve is Wonder Woman.
Is she Supergirl then?
It's more like her own person trying to become Supergirl.
She has Supergirl powers. Yeah, like you can say she's the powers of Supergirl.
It's not really it's not really easy to translate.
Well, can I tell you at least something about Storm Chaser?
I mean, I know the conflict of her character, but you describe it.
Oh, she's just like a huge Nazi.
Yeah. She's a Nazi disguised as a feminist.
Yeah, which I was so sad because up until that point, I fucking loved Storm Chaser.
She fucking racist though.
She was a bad bitch, and then you find out that she's like a horrible Nazi and doesn't age and has committed all these hate crimes throughout her life, and you're like, well, fuck you.
But she's just kind of like feeding people what they want to see in the brand of a superhero that they've noticed. Basically, and you're gonna really hate me for saying this. Superheroes in this world are Kardashians.
They are. They're absolutely Kardashians. Yeah.
Have we had this discussion?
But that's how they would exist in this modern world.
You know what? Rose is on the soapbox now. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No. What was the ding? What was the ding?
That was a message I got. I usually keep my thing in. I'm just gonna reset. Rose is on.
That's why I leave my headphones plugged in, because any computer noise typically should go through there.
All right.
That's cool. We don't care.
Shut up. Oh, God.
You woke Gertie from her slumber.
No, I woke her up earlier.
Why do my friends have to always be contacting me?
Wait, you have other friends in us?
No.
Look, guys, they're my cousin.
You have another podcast?
No, you're my one. But whatever. Rose is on the soapbox. Talk about the Kardashians.
So, for the record,
this is going to be an Armenian rant.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Any American Armenian community will outright reject the Kardashians and refuse to acknowledge them as Armenian American. So the biggest insult you could give an Armenian American is, hey, just like you're Armenian, like the Kardashians? No, don't ever fucking say it. That's a great insult.
Very degrading.
It really is, especially since they don't have... It's only like...
You know what you say to that? Name one more Armenian.
Yeah, name one more Armenian. Aside from me.
Well...
Robert Kardashian, their father, who was a really popular, famous lawyer, who worked on the O.J. Simpson case.
That's not a good thing to say.
Oh, well, then. We can talk about O.J. Simpson.
But that's kind of like the thing that, like...
I don't want to. I don't want to go down that
No, we should.
We should.
That's...
No.
Look, if I'm out here
No,
talking about how
naturally-
9/11 changed Superman, we can talk about how O.J. Simpson changed consumer culture.
We'll have a segment.
You know, he killed his wife. Yeah, we can talk about it.
We'll have a segment.
You heard it here first, folks.
We'll have a. I've been.
I will talk about the American Crime Story, though.
Oh, that's so
that
good.
That was really good.
So I've been petitioning for a very short series about like unsolved crimes and such, and I decided this is the first time that these two, Brody and Jess, are hearing it. The menagerie of history, because history can be stranger than fiction sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah.
So I'd love to dive down, especially into the O.J. Simpson case at some point, but that's not the rabbit hole we're going down.
But to
today.
go back to the idea of the Kardashians,
They have zero influence and zero connections to any Armenian community.
right.
Armenia, for those who don't know, is the oldest Christian nation in the world. So
I didn't know
to
that.
I didn't know that either.
Like the church is really important. So like every Armenian American will have some church that they're associated.
I'm not gonna lie. You put a gun to my head and point out Armenia on a map, I'm dead.
It's not there anymore, so you would be fine.
Oh,
It's a
so
trick
then I'd be
question.
dead anyways. Wait, what?
Something that says Armenia is not on the map. Rose is looking at me, she wants to stab me. It's not.
Armenia is on the map, Jess.
Armenia?
Armenia is on the map.
It says Armenia?
Yes.
Sorry, Armenians.
Oh my god. I will pull up a fucking map right now.
Holy shit.
I love this. This is my favorite part of the show. Googling out of spite.
It's the only thing. Well, to be fair, Rose is binging right now.
Okay.
Spite Bing.
Spite
Bing, please don't sponsor us. That's the one brand where, like, please don't.
Armenia is right here.
Where does it say Armenia?
It's right there.
Oh my god.
It's right fucking there!
Oh my god, don't cut this out, Brody. I learned something new. I swear to fucking god. So I'm thinking of Persia, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
thinking
thinking-
Persia.
Is this a fun fact with Rose?
Yeah, no, it is. So,
Armenia is a country.
I like... So I
Hold on.
confused
Bonus
Armenia
round.
with
Bonus
Persia.
round. Bonus round. What is the capital of Armenia?
Little Armenia.
City.
Oh my god. What is...
Am I right?
No.
Shit, I saw that on a map earlier.
No, that's too small. You just can't see it. Hold on.
It's Yerevan.
Yes, it's Yerevan.
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw the star. I know what that means. I can at least read like a map.
Does anyone know the
Key.
ancient capital of Armenia?
It's Little Armenia.
Armenia town.
No.
Little Armenia.
Yeah, Little
No,
Armenia.
The ancient capital of Armenia?
Old Armenia.
What if it
city-
was?
So, the ancient capital of Armenia is called Ani. It's known as the city of 1,000 churches.
Yeah. Cool. Armenia is a real country, and it's got a dope capital named Nani. Put in the fun fact sound effect.
The
wow,
ancient
that was
capital.
pleasant.
Jess, what's the modern day capital of Armenia?
Little Armenia.
No.
It is, right?
No.
Shit. Where? I saw that on a map. I said that earlier.
No, you said Yerevan.
Mm-hmm.
Not Little Armenia.
I saw Little Armenia on the map there somewhere.
All right, so we really derailed. Do we have any last ideas for the boys in terms of like the anti-heroes?
Just in general, if you haven't seen it, which I think most people have,
Are the cookies done?
yeah, the cookies are done.
my
Oh
God.
fuck! There's cookies.
There are cookies.
Oh shit!
Sorry, guys. So just in case you guys haven't seen it, The Boys, you should watch it. I know most people have seen the first season. The second season is just as enjoyable.
And he's got my favorite guy, Giancarlo Esposito. Gus.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Oh my god. Is there a better character to play just a straight up villain? Like, for those who don't know, Giancarlo Esposito was
Gus Fring.
Gus Fring, and he was recently the bad guy in Far Cry, the new Far Cry game.
The new Far Cry, which I haven't played it, but
He
I love
is-
that.
That man is too good at playing like straight up chaotic evil villains.
I agree.
No, I disagree. Lawful evil. Right? You know,
He is totally lawfully evil, you're right.
total lawful evil of like, hey, I have a code. I'm gonna stick to it, and if you get in my way, you're gonna be dead in seconds.
Yeah.
Is he a serial killer?
No, he's an actor.
But you also entice people to watch The Boys even further. The acting is really good. The story is good. It's very quick
Giancarlo
paced.
Esposito.
There
is
is a ton
in
of
season 2
action that is. It's gory. It's bloody. It's realistic.
You know what my
they
favorite
show
thing
you
about
what a sex club would look like if superheroes inhabited it. Like it shows you everything that every little dumb thought you've had on. Man, I wonder what it would like to be a superhero nowadays. They've covered it.
Can I just put in my little fun fact real quick?
Yeah.
There was one scene where they had to show an invisible man crashing into a wall.
Yeah.
And to do that, they actually got a green screened wrecking ball and just put it into a wall.
I love it.
So they used a lot of practical effects for The Boys. And that's my fun fact. Oh god, that's not the sound effect. I didn't think that would happen.
Oh, why does it sound weird?
I don't like it.
I love it.
I'm never going to do another sound effect again.
That's not true.
No, do it. Use my fun fact sound effect.
We'll use the rose one right here as a chaser.
That's nice.
Very nice.
Nice and twinkly. Moving on from The Boys.
Well, hold on. And so Injustice has an animated movie.
Right.
And it's an animated video game.
Mm-hmm.
The Boys is live action. So what if there was like an adult cartoon? Like
There is.
And
And it's also on Amazon. Sorry, I'm eating a cookie. Blame my husband.
The cookies are amazing.
Fucking husband baking cookies for his friends and wife.
I know.
What an
He's
asshole.
great.
What an asshole. God.
I love you, Zane.
Yeah, thank you, Zane. They're chocolate
You're
chip
a rock, Zane.
and Reese's cups.
Brody, you should go get some.
There is.
I will later.
There is. It's called Invincible, and it's actually after everything we've discussed so far today is my favorite show we're about to talk about.
Oh
Yeah?
yeah. There's a lot going on to it.
You want to run through the plot really quick, Brody?
Let's run through the plot.
It's simple.
It starts with a young kid named Mark, whose father is Omni-Man, who is this Superman stand-in, and
He's Superman.
Omni-Man?
He's Superman, and he's also Homelander.
yeah,
Omni-Man?
Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
OMNI man.
Okay.
And and my favorite thing is voiced by J.K. Simmons.
Yes, J.K. Simmons is the best.
Anytime when J.K. Simmons gets to angrily yell at teenagers, you know it's going to be good.
I can't tell you how many times I've put on a movie that I think is going to suck, and then I see, oh, J.K. Simmons is in this, yeah, I'll watch it.
J.
Of
Jonah
course.
Jameson, the asshole teacher from Whiplash, Tenzin from Legend of Korra. The man just loves
Not
yelling
enough
at
people have
kids.
seen
Wait,
Whiplash.
hold
Can
on.
I get angry
It's
for a
Tenzin,
minute?
yeah.
No.
Not enough people
Yeah.
have seen Whiplash.
Whiplash is so good. Have you seen
Whiplash
Whiplash?
is so
No.
fucking good, and not enough people have seen it. It is more thrilling than any psychological thriller you're ever going to see.
Oh my
What's
god, yeah.
Whiplash?
Whiplash is J.K. Simmons plays. It's J.K. Simmons and Miles Davis. Miles Davis is trying to become the greatest drummer in the world because he's on a sponsorship in his college. And J.K. Simmons is the teacher who is
A prestigious teacher that's very well respected.
prestigious. He's well respected, but he screams right in his face the whole time.
He's
while
an
drumming.
abusive prick, though.
Yeah, and he says words that are just not okay to say today. He says the F word. He says the R word. The bad F word. I'll say fuck any day. I won't say the other one.
All the offensive ones.
Yeah. Some gender regressive kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff that you're like,
He says
shit, really?
I'm gonna censor that.
No, you can edit that out.
Yeah.
No,
I would just censor it. People need to know that word is just as offensive as other words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
enough
Invincible.
about Whiplash. Yeah.
So yeah,
Invincible.
back Invincible though. Invincible is the young hero Mark who realizes he has the same powers as his father Omni-Man. It's the flight and the super strength.
He gets them late. He's a late bloomer.
He's a late bloomer.
Oh, so is this like Sky High?
It's kind of like Sky High, yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
I've
Just-
never
So-
seen Sky High, but I've always
What
wanted
the
to watch it.
fuck?
Yes.
I've always wanted to watch
Jess,
it.
don't
Yes.
watch it. We're doing an episode on it. You stay ignorant.
I'm gonna
Okay.
stay ignorant.
It's going on the list.
It's going
We
on the
can
list,
do it.
baby.
Going on the list.
I won't watch it, but then I'll watch it after we talk about it.
Okay.
Does Robert Rodriguez direct it? Because it looks like a Robert Rodriguez movie.
It does look like that, but I can't confirm or deny that.
We'll talk about it more later. All right, continue. I
But
apologize.
anyways, so Mark is just learning that he has his father's powers and is trying to become his own superhero, and he becomes the hero Invincible. He's a hero in training. He's learning to use his powers, and he wants to be a. And he, well, here's the thing. Here's the difference between
with Sky High. I'm just going to tell you right now, you probably can't compare them much further after this.
Well, Sky High is its own beautiful animal.
I love it.
We'll get to that later. No more Sky High for now. But his father, he wants to be just like his father, Omni-Man. Omni-Man is a fucking murderer. Episode 1 ends with him absolutely murking the Justice League.
Yeah, fuck these spoilers, but...
Like who?
Walker?
No, gruesomer.
So what's so great about the first half of this season is that the end of the first episode is Omni-Man just brutally, and I mean brutally, murdering every single member of the Justice League.
The fun thing about episode 1 is that the whole idea, it's very much like this big Saturday morning style Ben 10-ish kind of thing, and then it just kind of surprises you.
It's the Red Wedding of cartoons.
And then in episode 1, it ends with all the Justice League meeting together, and he just like punches holes through their faces. He splatters brains everywhere. There's a lot of gore. It's gross. And don't eat spaghetti while watching.
But what's good about that first half of the season is like you're just constantly speculating, like, was he under my control? Like, what's his motive? Like, there's no way that's Omni-Man, because every other representation you're getting of him is squeaky clean Superman, like great father, great husband,
American tradition values, whatever the fuck. But and I'm just gonna skip to the very end.
Yeah, we don't need to talk. I do want to touch briefly on the train scene, but we can do after. I just want to talk about it. But
wait, what's the train scene?
So
take it, Brody.
So like the whole first season is Mark trying to learn to be like his father, while his father's trying to cover the tracks of the murders he's done.
The majority of the season.
Yeah, and episode 1 ends with Mark kind of figuring out that his father's a murderer.
He has suspicions, but he's not full on. My dad's a murderer yet.
Yeah. And then
that comes later.
Oof.
And then it ends up with them kind of, and then Omni-Man, his father, reveals his real superhero origin. Instead of being from planet like Krypton, where it was destroyed and he's the last survivor.
Did he destroy it?
A lot of people destroyed it. It's just like, it goes the route of like super duper imperialism, where we're trying to take over all the planets.
Yeah, like all these babies are sent off. These young, well, they're young adult. The young Omni-Mans and women. They're all powerful like him. They're all strong like him, and they get sent off to every corner of the universe to colonize planets.
And Omni-Man's mission was to go in and weaken the planet. So he kind of found a way to do that, was to pose as another one of these heroes.
And take them all out.
And take them all out. While doing so, like, as a part of his cover, raising a family. And you know what the line that really makes you hate this guy is?
I think I know what you're about to say, and just say it.
When he talks about how, because Omni-Man lives for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah, he lives.
And he's talking about, like, the insignificance of Earth life. And he's just like, but
what about
me? But what about me? What about Mom? And he's just like, I love your mother, but kind of like a pet.
Yeah, that cut deep. And the mom heard it.
Yeah. The mom heard it.
The mom heard it, yeah.
That dick. What'd she do?
What can't she do? She can't do shit.
It's the Superman.
Yeah, divorce him?
Yeah, how are you going to divorce Superman?
Divorce is off the table entirely at this point.
What do you mean? I'd leave his ass.
He's a murderer.
He could just come back and get you if he wanted to.
Yeah, then everybody would be like, wait.
Also, no. I doubt it's actually even legal if we follow up with the fact that he is just an alien from another planet. I mean, you can mentally divorce yourself from somebody.
Whatever, regardless. The last episode is Mark, the young hero in training, trying to beat up Omni-Man, the old head, super angry Superman. And Mark just gets his fucking ass kicked. Like, on a cosmic level.
The fight scene between Mark and his father is really good.
The whole last episode, the first half of it, is just a beatdown. So is it
like My Hero Academia good, or...?
It's better than My Hero Academia.
It's different from that.
Okay.
I think it's better.
Okay. I'm just trying to give...
It doesn't have as much of a fun cast of characters as My Hero.
No,
There are
I'm
some
just
fun
trying to
characters,
get-
though.
There
I'm
are
trying
some fun
to-
characters, but if you want to talk about something that I find relatable and more compelling, I think Invincible is better than my ultimately My Hero Academia and other animes like that are geared more towards younger people.
But here's where I get into the key difference between Invincible and Omni-Man.
Okay.
Invincible, Mark, there's another one line, and I think Jess knows exactly what I'm talking about. During their fight, Omni-Man has thoroughly beaten the shit out of his son to the point where his face is just opening up.
yeah, it's bad.
It's a lot of, and it's
the blood is drawn there.
And Omni-Man says, and I might get this wrong. He says, "What will you have in 500 years? I'm trying to save this planet by having them under our control. I'm trying to make sure that everyone's life means something. In 500 years, everyone will be dead. What will you have?" And the son who had just thoroughly had the shit knocked out of
By
him,
his father.
by his own father, says,
I have you.
I'll still have you, Dad.
Yeah.
I called it.
And that's how he wins that fight.
And the dad just walks away.
The dad flies away. It's like, I gotta get out of here.
We think. We don't know.
And
I'm so ready for season 2.
I love that. Or the dad's just like, God damn it.
I
kid.
really fucked up. And that's
I'll
how you
still
win that
have
fight.
you. I still have you. That is such a powerful moment, though.
It's like the
It
Naruto
is, yeah.
talk no jutsu where he convinces the bad guy that he actually fucked up, but he could still be a good guy.
Yeah, but Naruto, we'll have a whole episode dedicated to Naruto. Is a whole another emotional bag of worms I don't want to open at the moment.
It's very much like a kind of bag of worms is this, where it's like
he just with one line.
I still love you, Dad. Is basically
Like
what
you
he's
just
saying.
beat the shit out of me.
You just
but
beat
I'll
the
still
shit out of
have
me
you.
and that
Love is
everything is
a lot of love is
significant.
unconditional.
Yeah.
I have to ask though, because there's not a lot of other shows like Invincible. What do you think this means for adult animation? I mean, we've got the Harley Quinn show
Well,
on
that
HBO.
Harley Quinn is definitely sillier than this show.
Harley Quinn
you guys-
though, is really. I haven't watched it, but it's unique though.
It's unique
For
that it's just
DC.
like people.
Well,
I've
Harley
seen clips
Quinn-
on TikTok where like there's a cancer gun and she shoots
Oh,
a
the
cancer gun
cancer-
at like one of the goons and she didn't know that it was a cancer gun. He goes, "I feel fine." And
She thought it was just like a regular ray gun that
no,
was killed
it's a gun that
recently.
shoots cancer. Like this show seems like off the walls. I know Brody, you've seen it.
It's very much like that South Park Matt and Trey fuck you style dark humor.
I love it.
Let's talk a little bit about Harley Quinn because we are talking about Injustice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the Injustice arc, Harley actually sides with Batman.
Which is kind of like
Because
I didn't see that
she's-
coming.
She was still dating. The whole canon today, modern day, is that she broke up with Joker, and now Joker is his own thing, and Harley Quinn is her own thing, and Ivy, who right now at the moment is her best friend. They eventually do get
Poison
together.
Ivy and Harley
Poison-
Quinn are BFFs.
Well,
Oh,
I
they're
think they
more
get
than
together.
BFFs.
They become
Oh.
more than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
In
that.
The comics,
Can I just say my favorite joke about?
So it's like
Uh,
Marcelina
my fa-
Bubblegum.
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite joke about Ivy in the show is that she just associates with all these like dumb goons. So like she has a thing with Kite Man. It's like, yeah, and it's just like my power to fly on a kite and your power to control all plant life. We're equal. And it's the same
But,
thing with
like-
like Harley, where it's like my gymnastics and your ability to control all plant life.
Yeah. So eventually they do get together to some extent, right?
Yeah.
But Harley Quinn, she goes off on her own, and in the TV show, I'll get back to the point of Injustice. In the TV show that Jess is talking about, Harley really relies on Ivy to get her through, because she goes batshit crazy. Because Joker is like, hey, I love you, and they get together, and he's like, oh, well, if you were crazy like me, we'd be the perfect couple.
For those at home listening, take another shot because I'm gonna say it. It's culture catching up to the character.
Yeah.
It's finally culture catching up.
It's finally happening.
It's finally so she breaks up with the Joker,
Mhm.
and Ivy is like, no, you're not going back to him. You're sticking with me. You're
He's
my
toxic.
BFF. Literally.
Yeah.
And so in Injustice, she's still with him. She's still with Joker before Joker dies.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a moment where And it's even reflected in Birds of Prey and in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
Where she thinks that Joker is dead for the very first time. She's on her own. And she's like, oh shit, this is how I can be my own person. And DC is running with that representation of Harley Quinn. So we're finally getting a representation of Harley Quinn on her own.
Mm-hmm. And I like the shift that's kind of happened the past few years.
And that shift is incredible, let me tell you.
I think it may just come from the fact that like fans really attached to the character.
They attached to Margot Robbie is what happened.
Yeah.
Really, this Harley Quinn renaissance has everything to do with Margot Robbie.
Can we just say real quick?
It really does.
Is there a more beautiful woman than Margot Robbie?
Not that many, no.
Oh my
Scarlett
God.
Johansson?
They're pretty in different ways.
This is like the dorm room conversation, and you throw in one third option for
I'm
me
more
to
of a
fuck, Marry,
Scarlett
kill.
Johansson kind of gal.
Fuck, marry, kill. Oh!
Fuck, Marry, kill. Margot Robbie, Scarlett Johansson.
Sofia Vergara, per last
Oh, Sofia Vergara.
Sophia.
This is probably the hardest one ever. All right, Brody, go.
Well, I don't want to kill any of them. That's the problem.
You got to kill one.
Scarlett Johansson. Kill Scarlett Johansson.
No, I'm gonna marry Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, you marry
Kill
Scarlett
her.
Johansson.
You know what? I think Scarlett Johansson is the most like we'll
Kill
laugh
Scarlett
together.
Johansson,
No.
marry Sophia. And
You see, I would fuck Margot Robbie and kill Sofia Vergara.
I'm more on your boat.
Yeah, that's the move.
I just want to marry Scarlett Johansson. That's my priority. And then if after that I have to either fuck Margot Robbie or kill
Sofia Vergara.
I'm probably more likely to fuck Margot Robbie.
I just feel like killing Margot Robbie would ruin a lot more
Remember that
movies
time I
than
said I was
Sofia Vergara
asexual?
dying.
yeah.
And here I am talking about fucking Margot Robbie.
Yeah, and here I am.
Yeah, but
I'm still very confused in this subject.
You can put yourself in the mindset, though.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, like I'm in that mindset. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but like just because you're asexual doesn't mean you can't objectively look at someone and say like, oh, they're attractive or not.
Whatever. It's a spectrum, and I'm totally talking about fantasy.
Yeah, it is a
There you
spectrum,
go.
though. You're right.
You think I'm ever gonna fuck Margot Robbie? Never.
No.
No.
None of us will.
Isn't that sad?
Okay,
Yeah, it
to
is
the
a little bit.
surprise of almost everyone who I've ever talked to, because we're on the topic of
Might as well.
asexuality, because I'm aromantic.
Mm-hmm.
People have gone up to me and like talked to me about these things, and have asked me if Tom Hiddleston asked me out, I would turn him down. It's
Really?
always a fucking surprise. Because no, I'd rather be his friend than go on a date. Because quite frankly, dates are just meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
Some dates are awesome.
Some are, but like in a general scale, having
I
Tom
am such
Tom
a good
Hiddleston
person
to make
to
a
go
good
on a
friend.
first date
Yeah, he
with
would be.
because I'll take tequila shots with you, and there isn't anything that I won't talk about. And that's how all first dates should be. Tequila shots and like way too much oversharing. And whether or not you want to call me tomorrow, I mean that's on you.
I feel like, Jess, you are someone who doesn't have that like thick, crunchy exterior that everyone else has.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you know, there's some people you really gotta like break into the layers before they can start acting weird.
The walls.
Yeah, the
Oh,
walls.
yeah, no,
the
I'm
walls
just
that
weird.
people build around themselves.
To protect themselves. With
To protect themselves,
with
but
good
also to
reasoning.
keep them
Look,
inside.
if you have your walls built up and you have your boundaries,
Let your free
good
flag
for you.
fly.
But you
Good
gotta
for
also have a
you.
window.
You have to have a window.
A window.
Don't close yourself off too much.
Jess is made of doors.
And we love her for it.
They're all
But
open.
Jess does have her boundaries.
Oh yeah, of course. Well,
Well, everybody has their boundaries. Like, I'm not insane. I know it comes off that way at times, but I'm absolutely not. You have to have boundaries. And getting older is learning how to set healthy boundaries that don't even feel like boundaries anymore because you're just setting them all the time. You don't even know they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Invincible, I think.
We were talking about Harley Quinn.
Oh right.
Oh, I don't have much to say. Oh, Margot Robbie. Yeah, the
Margot
resurgence
Robbie.
with Harley Quinn was 100% to do with Margot Robbie being so perfectly casted and just selling that character to the masses.
And the fact that they actually allowed a woman to direct.
Yeah, that matters.
Yeah, the Birds of Prey.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen like lines from women that you can definitely tell are written by men.
It does make a difference. We can even discuss what's her face that does the Patty Jensen?
Patty Jensen?
Jensen?
Patty something that does the Wonder Woman movies?
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, and my mom's friend that's her sister, and I don't even can't remember her name. It's Patty Jenkins. It's Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins. There
we go. Shit, it came to me eventually.
Patty Jenkins, sponsor
Patty
us.
Jenkins.
Somebody sponsor us.
Patty Jenkins definitely brought upon a female renaissance in superhero movies.
And then
directing as well.
Yeah, and I forget the name, but was it Chloe Yang who directed Eternals?
I'm not sure, but that sounds wonderful.
I remember
Chloe something. Right?
Yeah, Zhao.
Chloe something, but she directed Eternals.
Yeah,
I
apologize if I like don't know the name, but I'm still like being like I know this.
Also, to be fair, none of us has seen Eternals, and we don't particularly care.
Not for that reason.
Not for that reason. Not for that reason. No.
I just want to spend money to watch it. If it was on TV, I'd watch it. Like on a streaming service.
But if it was a damn man who directed that movie, then maybe. I'm cutting that out. That was the whiskey man and me talking.
That's the whiskey man.
Brody?
The whiskey Brody.
Put a rodeo sound in here, right here.
No.
Whiskey man.
WB.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
No, whiskey man.
Whiskey Brody.
Yeah, whiskey Brody.
This is my zombie rose.
Yeah, this is your variant.
No, I like
no. Whiskey Brody's like fun and active.
I already have a variant. His name is Brodeo. He's Brody Wario.
Yeah, and he's got a black goatee, much like Evil Abed.
Whiskey. Can I just talk a little bit more about Invincible and just why I like the...
Yeah, I would really love that. I feel like we didn't touch enough on Invincible for how fucking good it is.
So like the
really.
whole and like
You're good.
I'm still just going to talk about the last episode because that's the one where the actual plot happens. And it's just the idea of like, what do you do after this person you've really looked up towards and wanted to be your whole life is actually an apathetic monster.
You make a deal with them and mom needs to get taken care of and I just join sides with you. I mean, honestly, that's what I would do. At least I'm honest, but if you know for a fact that you have an extremely long lifespan ahead of you, do you really want to be alone? Like, really think about that. Like,
but he's not alone. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, he's got his dad.
It's kind of like the vampire conundrum. If you
it is.
into a vampire,
well, see, the vampire conundrum is different because you can just turn someone that you want to hang out with.
No, but like, how would you spend that lifetime, though? That's the question.
Oh God, I could waste it doing nothing. I could waste it so easy.
I think What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show, really kind of touched on that. That's also on the list. We'll get into that later.
Oh, I would love to deep dive What We Do in the Shadows.
But they do go into, like, vampire depression.
Yeah, well, there isn't a hobby that you couldn't pick up if we're assuming that, like, financially you're taken care of. But I honestly can bullshit so many days away. Like, and I do in my regular mortal life. I don't think I would have an issue bullshitting for millennia. I mean, really, I don't think I would. I would travel a lot.
Yeah, that's true. That's another funny thing about Invincible. It's like a small detail.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, Omni-Man still has like a secret identity, sort of, where he's like a Nolan something, right?
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on it until the last episode. He makes his living doing travel books. A man who literally flies around the world 10 times a day.
I can see that.
That's just a fun detail that kind of tickled me.
Oh, I thought we were also going to discuss that how, like, on dates, he'll just pick up his wife and fly to France to go get croissants and sausages in Germany.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to go to that funny place in Italy that we like?
Yeah, they just fly off to go do that all the time.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's like a throwaway joke that they do.
Yeah, it's not important to the plot at all.
But it's like,
yes, pet, let's go.
Yes, come on, Dougie.
God, I hate him.
That's such a and then like that obviously comes at the last part, and it's such like a line where it's like anything you like about this guy is just immediately gone.
Yeah. No, they crafted the most soul crushing words you can say to someone that you love,
and it's kind of like I know this is gonna sound corny, but I'm gonna compare Invincible to Steven Universe.
No. Steven Universe comparisons, and we are gonna do a deep dive into that. But I actually want to rewatch the first 2 seasons and then like the last 2.
Okay, but like
we do it,
but the idea,
Universe?
but the idea that it's the idea I see in both shows is just the idea that like you could be this big omnipotent being.
But Steven also suffers from I don't remember the name of it, but he like had to be the adult. Basically, like, he grew up too fast.
Yeah, and Mark is kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Where-
I don't know if Steven grew up too fast. If anything,
No, he ended up having to be the adult.
if anything, I feel like Steven's youthfulness is fostered so well by the crystal gems. Greg is useless, but if we're talking about the crystal gems raising Steven, they've done nothing but foster his childlikeness.
Well, we can
entirely.
definitely get into the deep dive of that. The main point I want to make, though, is the idea that, like, you could either be this omnipotent, all-powerful being, or you could just be a very flawed human, and being a flawed human is the favored in both of those.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because despite being flaws, there's no such thing as perfectionism.
No, there's no such thing as perfect.
No.
There really isn't.
If you're trying to be perfect, you're just going to drive yourself crazy.
That's why I always say practice makes better. I never say practice makes perfect.
And if
You're going to get better, but there's no such thing as perfection.
And Jess knows this, if every pork chop was perfect,
We wouldn't have hot dogs!
yeah.
That's true.
I understand that you don't watch it. I know it's not for everybody. I don't know how, but I
But
respect
like, on
that
the
it's
high
not
horse.
for. I
On the
respect that
high
it's not
horse,
for
I did
everybody.
try. No, I watched several episodes. I did give it an honest attempt.
They didn't even know what they had in season 1. Like, you gotta keep going.
Lord.
Season 1 is definitely more the kids' show,
It's
right?
more the kids' show. It
I
takes.
mean, that's the same for Adventure Time. Like, the first 4 seasons.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Adventure Time had like a really big hallucinogenic stoner following, which got it through those first few seasons before the narrative picked up really strong.
Look, here's the thing about kids shows. The first season is completely marketed towards what the standards of the network really wants them to. If you want to be
And
something
then,
on
like,
Disney Channel,
parents.
it has to be the Disney attitude.
Yep.
When you get the second season, you can actually start to fuck around a little bit.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
and by
and
the
the
second
parents get
season,
drawn
the
in.
network has already bought 4 seasons, so you're down. Like, you can do what you want now.
Yeah, and now the parents are also invested, so you have to devote certain
You do need to
things.
make stuff that parents will watch too. Yeah,
Sure.
that's a real thing.
Or just 20-year-old somethings who...
I gotta
like
tell you,
kid
me and
shows.
my mom used to watch Curious George with my little brother, and we had to invent like saucy backstories for all the characters, like how the chef
How
was
saucy
definitely-
did Curious George get?
We like totally hypothesized that like the head chef was like fucking one of the neighbor ladies. Like we would go in on it. Like we would
Interesting.
create
Did
really
you know
big
Curious...
backstories
Oh
for
my
everybody.
God, I have a random fun fact. Did you know that Curious George almost didn't make it to the U.S.?
Where did it start from?
Is there
So,
is there a
the
real
two- the
Madagascar?
No, the couple who... I don't remember their names, and I'm not going to look it up or Google it or anything. But the couple were
Yeah, what is this, homework?
political refugees. They were Jewish, and
Oh.
they were trying to move over to the U.S.
Wait, the
during-
real Curious George?
Yeah, the comic books
Oh.
Huh.
that everything is based off of. Curious George almost didn't make it to the U.S.
I
Like
did
the
not know
comic books didn't make it.
Rose's fun fact. Curious George is Jewish.
Yeah, the original creators were Jewish and were facing prosecution by the Nazis and tried to come over to the U.S. And the U.S. is like, okay, what do you have to offer? And they're like, we have all these manuscripts. We have all these books.
I have a very
My
funny
husband-
monkey.
My husband is a children's writer, and they almost didn't let them in. So Curious George, we would not have him today if someone in, like, immigration said, okay, this guy can come.
Thanks for the literary friend,
That's
Ellis
actually-
Island.
That's actually pretty
like 100 years
fascinating.
ago.
I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, go look it up.
Hey,
Go-
speaking of Nazis, don't we have a fun KKK fact for the day?
Is there ever a fun KKK fact?
There is.
I actually think there probably are.
No, there is. In this one,
No way.
Right.
You have
I know-
KKK facts.
we've gotten-
I have KKK facts.
Oh, God.
No, Rose
So I know
says-
we've gotten into some weird territories talking about the gray areas of superheroes, but
and the gray areas of Steven Universe.
yeah, and we wanted to do a little chaser, talk about a time when Superman really was a hero.
So in 2019, DC actually resurrected something that hasn't been seen since the 40s. And I don't remember what the comic book
Glasses.
series is called specifically, but the radio show that it's based off of is The Adventures of Superman that ran from 1940 to 1951. And today I really wanted to just pinpoint this in before we leave. This Superman versus the Clan of the Fiery Cross.
That's the KKK.
That's the KKK, guys.
If you couldn't put that together,
If you could put
get
it together.
educated.
So we have this guy, William Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
And Stanton actually witnessed a KKK lynching when he was a kid and decided that he was going to devote part of his life to bringing down the KKK. Fast forward a few years, and he's like in his 20s or 30s, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to bring down the KKK from within. He joins the KKK.
Oh my god.
To like learn all their secrets, learn all their shit. And this is 1945. And he's like, okay, I have enough information. I'm going to take it to the authorities, the FBI, the local police. He goes up to them and they're like, yeah, you don't have enough evidence. Even though you've told us about all these secret meetings, you've told us all about like all these heinous and atrocious crimes that other individuals of your clan branch have committed.
They just kind of turned him away.
No, we don't fucking care. And so Stanton's like,
well, welcome to America. Sorry.
What the
This
fuck
is America.
do I do? 1946 hits, and you have the rise of the Adventures of Superman, which is a radio show brought to you by Kellogg. That's
Kellogg, sponsor us.
No, hold on. Kellogg, that's an important point.
The McCarthyism, like Kellogg stop masturbation stuff.
Oh my god, those brothers are so fucked up. I don't want to get into it because I'll talk about it all day, but...
Yeah, I could too. We'll glaze over that. I just had to, like, say that. Okay.
So, Stanton is like, well, what the fuck do I do? And he gets an idea because he's listening to the radio and he's listening to the Superman radio show. I'm going to write a letter to the creators of the Superman show and ask Superman for help. He writes a letter explaining, hey, I'm a member of the KKK trying to bring them down from within. I went to the authorities. Nobody's listening to me. Can you help? After a very short deliberation, they write back, yes, we will. And that creates, I believe, 16-part saga of just Superman versus the Clan of the Fiery Cross, where every week for several, like 2 or 3 months, Superman is like smack dab in the middle of this episode over the radio, national radio, by the way. Secrets are being let out. Code words are being given out to the public. You know, descriptions of these individuals. They look like and feel like, when people are listening, the KKK. And so the mass public is sitting there like, holy shit, you know, I didn't fucking care before, but now this is made to this radio show that I like.
Now that Superman cares, I care.
Now that Superman cares, now I fucking care. How do I help bring down the KKK? KKK members are freaking the fuck out. Like,
Oh, of course.
These are
They gotta go up against Superman now.
Why don't they remake this? Because I feel like
did.
now...
They did?
in a short comic book series in
in
2019.
a movie.
Oh, of course it was
This
2019.
should be a movie. This
It's
really
so,
should.
or we could have like Superman takes on Scientology. I mean, there's so many different things.
Well,
that...
the lawyers will bring down Superman.
In 2019, I just remembered
Yeah, they will.
Superman versus the Klan is the
My only weakness
remake.
is kryptonite and cease and desist letters.
In 2019, I just remembered, the comic book arc is called Superman versus the Klan, instead of Superman versus the Clan of the Fiery Cross.
Right, they're trying to be a little more direct.
Yeah. So, and it's like, children in the street, Klan members are watching their children who don't know that they're Klan members, that their parents are Klan members, watching children in the street dress up as Klan members and being,
Killed by Superman.
beaten by Superman and being being a mockery and being mocked, and like they're just the mockery of children across the U.S. and membership for the KKK plummets. Because people couldn't stand being mocked by a child.
Ted Lasso fights the KKK.
Just
Anyone. So it sounds like this guy took a real Quentin Tarantino approach to to not just pseudily like rewrite history so it you can put a bow on it and it makes better sense for all of us, but he actually actively engaged people. I don't say, like, inciting violence isn't good, but I think getting someone to, like, not be a member of the KKK is a good thing.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a middle line there somewhere.
Ultimate
And
consequentialism, it was a good thing.
Yeah, it was a good
point
thing.
Of
Yeah.
Kellogg, the KKK actually had a large financial stake in Kellogg. And
Mhm.
I'm not surprised by that either.
No, they threatened Kellogg, like, hey, if you don't pull Superman, we're going to pull all our financial backing. And Kellogg, this is the one fucking good thing that they ever done in the history of their existence.
Right.
They're like, fuck you, Superman stays with us. KKK left. And Kellogg continued to what it is today.
It's just like the idea of this very real hate group, and they have to pick a side between them or a fictional guy who's supposed to be good, and they pick the fictional one.
Yeah, instead of the literal god among you, like, walking around.
Yeah, seriously. Kellogg was like, fuck you.
Like I said, once again, I feel like you guys aren't thinking this enough, but, like, if Superman literally threatened your life for you not to be on his side, you would be like, yeah, okay, fine.
Oh no, I pick Batman in a heartbeat. I would pick
He's richer.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd have the balls to stand up to him.
Mm.
I don't.
No, I wouldn't stand up to either.
If I get killed by Superman, there's no way that's not going to become an example.
Look, if I get killed, that's an example of a rebellion.
Brody, did you just say you'd be the sacrificial lamb? I think that's what you just
Yes,
said.
I will incite revolution.
Yeah, you're like,
and all I gotta do is die.
Me getting killed would be turned into an example.
They'll put me on T-shirts.
No, my name
Pretentious
will go
college
down.
students will scream my name.
Yeah, they will.
My name will go down with civil unrest, and you know what? I will gladly stand by that.
So who wins in Injustice? Whoever you're playing as?
I mean,
The guy who spams the jump kick on me 30 times. That's
me.
what made me give up on the game.
That's me. I suck at
as
fighting
always,
games.
it's kind of a cop-out answer.
No
you know
one
what?
wins.
You know what? I have the greatest cop-out answer of all. Go read, play, or watch the movie for yourself to find out who wins.
Boo.
That's because no one fucking wins, and they're not going to tell us that.
Damn it, they saw through my facade.
Yeah. Like, shit, I want to find out who wins. All right,
You know
I guess
what?
I'll play.
Yeah, go.
I mean,
There's no way you can't
That's what
run
it
through
is.
the Injustice campaign in like 2 hours.
We've said gray area a lot. There really aren't any winners in those things.
No.
Oh, you know what else? There's a lot of gray area with too. I know we're wrapping up, but like Freddy vs. Jason, guys.
But I do have one last question for both of you.
Okay.
Alright, so of the three, Injustice, The Boys, or Invincible, what universe would you live in and why?
Oh, God.
Oh shit.
Well, definitely, I can only think of two. I'm just going to say Invincible because the other two are unlivable.
I think I would be okay in The Boys. I think my life would be the same as it is right now.
Yeah,
Or maybe
controlled
my
by corporations.
My parents had money problems when I was younger. I might be a superhero. I have no fucking idea. I'm gonna pick The Boys.
Yeah, they pump you with the juice that makes
Yeah.
you make twinkle fingers.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be my specific power.
Injustice is just such a fascism under a guy you literally can't go against.
Injustice would be the worst. Invincible, the only reason I wouldn't want to do that is because it's clearly heading for like a world-ending event much quicker than The Boys.
I think that in terms of like government control of superheroes, Invincible has the best shit together. Where it's like, yeah, the government is up to some seedy shit, and they are keeping a lot of information away from the public. And there actually is
They're pretty comparable though. Overall.
There actually is a detail in the last episode where it's like, yeah, and there's a specific kind of light that we use that hides things from the public. And it's like, why can't I see it? Because have you ever drank tap water? That's why.
Yeah, it's so great.
So it's like there's definitely is that like that threshold of like
Realism?
there's a threshold of realism and like being controlled by the government and what they want you to know and what don't want you to know.
It's realism, but it is also like
Conspiracy
with a
theory.
tinfoil hat on.
That's very
Conspiracy
tinfoil hat.
theories.
Yeah.
Realism and conspiracy theories.
I still think Invincible would just be like kind of cool. I'm just thinking like the people there have the cooler powers.
I mean,
and
all
stuff.
three of them fucking suck.
They all
But-
suck.
Everybody we just discussed in all these shows.
If we're just
sucks,
doing our
except
usual
for the
style,
bulldog from the boys.
and it's just me being myself in this world,
Yeah.
it would suck to just always be at the mercy of whether or not some guy who can destroy a building with his fists is having a bad day or not.
Yeah.
There's not really too much regulation. Injustice is all regulation. They're controlling me as the guy.
Yeah, another pinpoint I didn't actually explicitly explain. The members of Gotham, at this point, everybody knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. If he leaves Gotham...
Oh, he's been exposed?
Yeah, he's been exposed. Everybody knows.
Shoot.
Bruce Wayne can't leave Gotham because then every Gotham member freaks the fuck out thinking that someone is going to come and destroy the city. Like,
So
he
he's like the
can't-
only
he's
guy who protects
legitimately-
them.
Yeah, he's legitimately.
How would they
the
know if he
only-
left or not?
That's the thing. Like, you don't know.
Yeah,
So
you won't know if he's
everybody's
gone or not.
scared.
You have that much money,
Everybody's
he
like
can just disappear.
terrified, and
Damn.
no one in Gotham will leave their houses.
That's
It's-
probably for the best, honestly. They should
it's
live in
insane.
fear.
You know what? I want to change my answer. I want to go to Injustice and try and see if Aquaman would let me into Atlantis.
Yo, I was actually
would.
about to say that.
He would?
Yeah.
I would be
highly doubt that.
I would be a refugee.
You could put a bubble
but-
on your head.
Yeah, I would do that.
Like Harry
I'd talk.
Potter.
I would learn the
Take it
fish culture. I'd learn their language, and I would try to make the best of
down.
that.
Thinking
Honestly-
for some reason like of Jar Jar Binks' world.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah,
I
but
like
like
Jar
living
Jar
there would be
Binks.
kind of cool.
I just committed social suicide. I like Jar Jar Binks. Come at me, internet.
Yeah, I'm fine with Jar Jar Binks too.
Do you believe the?
I'm one of the people they create
No,
those fucking
Jess, you
characters
don't-
for.
Do you not understand the toxicity about liking Jar Jar Binks and this?
Well, I
Star
know
Wars?
a lot of people hate Jar Jar Binks.
Would you?
Oh, there is.
I
some
wouldn't
massive,
call it toxic.
Massive,
You
no,
know
there
what-
is some massive toxicity.
You know what? I'm
about
just gonna
that.
say. I want to re-edit the Jar Jar Binks and all the prequels to just be voiced by Adam Sandler, and he'd be better.
He would be better.
Oh
would be
no,
good,
Misa
but-
step and poo poo.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing.
That's exactly his humor.
Here's the thing.
Shit.
Here's the thing. I would pick
I love it so much.
Injustice.
Birdie, you have the skills to do that.
Well, like the
You could at least
You
make
do.
a scene and put it on the internet for the world to enjoy.
You do actually.
You have the skills to do that.
I don't know. What do you think, J.K. Simmons?
Fuck out of my sight before I demolish you.
Oh God.
Yeah, he wasn't excited about that.
I would pick Injustice because, quite frankly, I would peace out and move to the Obscura, which is Wonder Woman's home island.
Oh, the Amazon women. there,
Yeah.
I wouldn't wanna live there either.
And live there.
I don't want to live with a bunch of women.
But I
on
feel
an
like the
island.
reason why we're picking the Injustice world is to not live specifically in that world.
Yes.
So what does that say?
Yeah, I like literally just pick the boys because it's like, well, like it pretty much
Okay,
be like how I live right now.
Practicality, I'd probably pick the boys. If I couldn't find the Obscura, if I couldn't find the island, and Brody, you can't
Right.
live underwater with Aquaman.
I'll try my best.
You'd still pick Injustice?
You know, I'm thinking like right now, like thinking about my current
Do you really
American
want to go to
life.
high school with all these kids from Invincible too? That seems terrible.
They're weird.
No,
Yeah,
I-
they are. And Adam Eve is like kind of a bitch.
What?
Or wait, no, his girlfriend is kind of a bitch.
Okay, we can get into the love triangle of that later.
Yeah, we're not gonna do
What?
it now.
Like-
We're about to sign off.
Like
But all
a-
I want to say is that if your boyfriend is saving the fucking world and you're bitching at him for not going to a soup kitchen with you, all the way around, don't complain if someone doesn't want to come volunteer with you.
But it's
That's
not-
something you do. It's not something other people do.
But it's about being treated like a side project when you're trying to really open up to this
Well, it's
guy.
a high school relationship.
Not yet.
Is
not
there
yet.
anything else that we wanted to fit in today?
Yes. Hold on. I had thought about this morning. Jess asked me when we were watching Ghostbusters, which we didn't talk about the previous episode.
Oh no, we wanted to. We'll do it next episode.
We'll do it next time. Jess asked me, we were watching the previews, and she looks at me and legit goes, "Who the fuck is Morbius?" I turned to her, I'm like, "I don't know, some kind of vampire." She goes, "Rose, it's Marvel, you should know this."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Jess, I don't fucking know.
No, we just like this.
I like Marvel."
We're
it's
fans.
not Loki.
Look,
no, it's not Loki. Why would I know this?
Because you usually keep an eyeball on the new stuff coming out and like read up a little bit on it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's,
out.
also of all the Spider-Man villains, how much more of a D-list villain do you get other than Morbius?
I don't.
Morbius is getting his own movie.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying this. I don't even know who the fuck he is, other than he's a vampire.
Also, I'm down for more vampires in Marvel, though. Not dissing that.
There's like he's right there with Vermin of like Spider-Man villains.
Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Who the fuck is Vermin?
Exactly. Now that's a fun thing. My aunt gave me a Spider-Man comic book from like her youth.
Is he like the Mole Man from The Incredibles?
Kind of. He's like more like gross than that. It's just, and I remember I was just like reading this like not too long ago. I was like, oh, this is fun. Spider-Man versus Vermin. This is a really sick guy. And like the ads that were in there is just like, one of them was a sneaker ad from no other than the Juice himself.
Oh man, the juice is loose.
This must have been like 70s or something. Lord. Back when he was most popular as the athlete.
Lord.
Yep, the juice sold me some shoes. And Spider-Man vs. Vermin.
You want to know a more obscure comic book character?
I always do.
Hit
Monkey.
Oh God, the Kool-Aid Man.
The Kool-Aid guy's a Spider-Man villain?
He's a comic book character?
He's a comic book character.
Well, like a Kool-Aid comic book?
Well, there's Wall Man, and that's definitely his enemy.
By Marvel.
By Marvel?
That shouldn't have been made.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on with our world.
Who would play the Kool-Aid Man in the MCU?
What I always say, Danny DeVito.
That would work. That would work so well.
Yeah, Danny DeVito or Gilbert Gottfried.
Ooh, Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. Shit.
Oh shit.
Or Mr. T.
No, Mr. T.
Maybe Mr. T. Yeah.
Mr. T.
Mr. T's a has-been, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I paid for who doesn't drink my juice.
All right, guys. Anything else you want to add for today?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Once again, I'm Jess.
I'm Brody.
Bros.
If you want to email us, Brody, where can they email us?
Oh, that's a good question. If you want to email us about any dumb bullshit you have about this podcast, it's oneframeoff@gmail.com.
We love bullshit, obviously.
Look, you've heard us. We thrive on bullshit.
We really do, yeah.
We thrive on chaos, but we also thrive on bullshit.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
I live in bullshit, thrive on chaos.
Fight us.
Fight me.
Verbally fight us.
No, not them. Me. I have my hill. You know where I stand. Come fight. Come at me, bro.
And if you want to do, it's oneframeoff@gmail.com.
Or
in
the comments.
Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye. Yep.
I can still fucking see you, Mini-Me!